This video contains spoilers for The Bad Batch Season 3, Episode 5, The Return. The Return has the whole crew back together. Hunter and Wrecker are with Omega on Pabu, and it almost feels like Tantus never happened. Crosshair is brought up. His brothers have taken him back, but the fences haven't been mended yet. Crosshair's out training. He's shooting with AZ. He's hiding from the team. The tremor in his hands came back. I guess I was wrong last week when I said that issue was resolved. I still do think it's a mental issue. I think that as Crosshair and the team's relationship heals, it's going to become more of a secondary problem and an important where making a shot really matters, probably with either Hunter or Omega's life on the line. He's going to make that shot. To complete the reunion, Echo shows up. While he's very happy to see everybody, he gets right down to business. He wants intel on Tantus so that he can bring back to Rex, and their own small pocket of the burgeoning rebellion can go and free the clones. I see this being the main mission for the Bad Batch as the series concludes. I also see Hunter being resistant to help, not wanting to bring Omega back to Tantus. Omega will undoubtedly talk him into it. We got a little taste of this in The Return for the smaller mission within the episode. Everything about the episode feels like a classic Bad Batch episode. The lighting's brighter, they're in paradise, everyone's happy-ish. Omega even gets Crosshair to laugh. That may be a series first. Things can never fully go back to how they were. The shadow of the loss of tech looms over everything. Even with that, there's a larger feeling of hope in this episode than we have previously in the season. Omega starts as the go-between between Hunter and Crosshair. Wrecker has basically accepted him back already. He's the one who gives Crosshair his old armor back. It was really cool seeing Crosshair suit up again, looking like a member of the Bad Batch, but there is still a little bit of distance between him and the other members since they updated their paint jobs and he still has the Season 1 look. But hey, one step closer. The Batch needs an Imperial terminal to get past the encryption on Nala Se's tablet that Omega stole from Tantus. Crosshair tells the group about the outpost on Barton 4. It's remote and was lightly guarded when Crosshair was last there. I absolutely loved the return to this base. This is where Crosshair finally accepted that he had made the wrong choice backing the Empire. He killed Lieutenant Nolan when Nolan made it very clear that the clones were expendable resources and beneath him. That is the crime that Crosshair was ultimately locked up for. This feels like the closing of a couple different loops. The place was still haunting Crosshair, and Hunter was onto it. Hunter does soften when he sees Crosshair lining up clone trooper helmets the Empire carelessly threw into a pile when they abandoned the base. One of the helmets is Mayday's, the very clone whose death was the straw that broke the camel's back on Crosshair's Imperial service. As the team works on their mission, they fall into old roles. Hunter won't leave Crosshair's side. At first, things get much worse between them. Crosshair accuses Hunter of being the reason why Omega got caught in the first place. Crosshair put himself at risk to warn the Batch that the Empire was coming. Hunter didn't take it seriously enough. Crosshair doubles down on the argument, saying that Hunter was bitter because it was Crosshair who helped Omega escape and not Hunter himself. I feel like Crosshair was saying this to intentionally take Hunter down a couple pegs. He wanted to hurt him, but Hunter's reaction said there was some more truth to the words than Crosshair just slinging insults. The two finally get around to the healing part. In an uncharacteristic emotional moment, Crosshair opens up about what he did to Nolan. He does the Crosshair version of an apology. Having this moment be written with some subtlety really sold it. The series stands out in Star Wars animation for me with the character moments. These moments are so real, you can forget you're watching a cartoon. Nothing brings old friends back together like a giant carnivorous worm. Hunter falls through the ice, leaving Crosshair and Batcher on the surface trying to rescue him while running from the monster. With some fun action, Crosshair and Batcher rescue Hunter. The two are almost back on solid footing with each other. Crosshair starts to apologize again when Hunter delivers the moral lesson of the episode. All people can do is look to the future and try to do better every day. There was a nice little moment tucked inside this one that I loved. It's a moment of Crosshair petting Batcher after the rescue. The two have bonded. Crosshair's opening up. As the episode resolves, we get another small but significant moment. Omega's doubting herself. She feels bad about how many clones were left behind on Tantus. Echo gives her a boost. It seemed like a little thing, but will likely influence Omega for the rest of the season, series, and maybe beyond. The lighter, more hopeful tone of this episode was a welcome change. The beginning of this season has been incredible, but very heavy. The Return keeps the story moving forward, but instead of building on the entire Star Wars universe and trying to have major reveals every episode, we get to spend some more intimate time looking at the dynamics between our characters and where everyone stands with each other. Check out this transmission next for more on The Bad Batch.